My wife sent me a calendar invite, DDay, ditch the deadweight. It was me. She'd been planning it for months with her sister. I played along. On the morning she tried to kick me out, I was already gone, and so was every penny. Today, her WhatsApp is flooded with 72 please answer texts. She shaved her head in the backyard, wedding ring in hand and her wedding ring in the other. Tossed the ring into the storm drain like it owed her money. That was 3 hours after she realized her bank accounts were empty and the house she tried to evict me from no longer legally existed. She doesn't know it yet, but I bought the foreclosure and sold it to a strip mall developer under an alias. By next summer, there'll be a 24-hour vape shop where our bedroom used to be. Let me start from the beginning. 6 months ago, I found a calendar invite on our shared iCloud. Title, DDay, drop the weight. I thought it was a fitness thing at first. Some 30-day shred challenge her sister Meryl roped her into again. But then I opened it. Notes, change locks. Move cash. Lawyer at 10 a.m. Tell him it's over by noon. Cry around 3. Block him by dinner. The invite was sent from her sister's email. The only other participant? My wife. I didn't cry. I didn't confront her. I just saved it. Screenshotted it. Forwarded it to a burner email I'd used in college for pirating textbooks. And I started playing along. Every morning I packed her smoothie. Every Friday I Venmo'd her half the groceries. I even helped her sister move an IKEA bookshelf the day after she messaged stage 2 emotional undercut. I let her plan my execution. And then I started my own. First, I quit my job. She didn't notice. I'd been remote ever since COVID, so it wasn't hard to fake. I kept leaving for work each morning, drove 2 blocks down, parked behind a Wendy's, and spent 6 hours building a new identity. New LLC. New bank. New life. Second, I started draining our joint account. Not all at once. Just surgically. A few hundred a week. Always with plausible stories, car repair, surprise dentist bill, helping out a cousin with rent. She didn't blink. She was too busy watching Instagram reels about reclaiming your power. Third, I recorded everything. Her texts. Her voice memos with Meryl. Her breakdown to her therapist over Zoom where she said it's not that I don't love him. It's just that there's no spark anymore. And on the day marked D-Day, I woke up early. I made her coffee. Kissed her forehead. Then I left. Not to work. Not to cry in the parking lot. I left the state. I had booked a one-way flight under a different name. By 10:03 a.m. while she was sitting with her lawyer explaining why she deserved everything, I was already landing in Arizona. And everything was gone. I liquidated our savings into crypto and stable funds 3 weeks earlier. Took the cash value life insurance she didn't know existed. Even sold her designer purses through a third-party handler and mailed them from a UPS box 2 towns over. And the house? Oh yeah, that's the best part. She didn't know I'd been talking to our lender for months. That our mortgage was delinquent because someone, her, never sent the payments like she promised. I knew it was going into foreclosure. So I bought it. Through a shell company. Then I sold it again. Cash. All legal. She found out today. Her sister drove her to what used to be our house. There were construction cones. Demo tape. A bulldozer in the driveway. She thought it was a mistake. She called the bank. The woman on the phone said, "Ma'am, the property has changed ownership." She called me 72 times in 3 hours. Each one started with please. I didn't answer. Because she doesn't know where I am. Because I changed every password, every login, every access point 2 days before I left. Because I am done being the weight. She made a PowerPoint with her sister on how to remove me like a bad habit. She turned my life into a breakup checklist. And now? She's realizing she forgot the most important step. Never underestimate the man who watched you laugh at his pain for 6 months and smiled back. Update coming soon. Let's just say her sister's job at the dental clinic? It doesn't exist anymore either. Update 1, she tried to freeze me out, so I gave her the Arctic. I got an email this morning from the management company that handles the new development on our old street. Subject line, property transfer finalized. Attached? A scanned photo of my wife and her sister standing outside the rubble of our former home, confused, surrounded by drywall dust and a porta potty. There's a tiny sign on the cyclone fence that says, "Lot reserved, future site of Phoenix Vape Plaza." No, I didn't name it. That was just fate. Let's rewind. After I vanished, while she was still mid-meltdown and Meryl was Googling, "Can you sue a husband for being emotionally unavailable?" I set up base in a 1-bedroom Airbnb in Tucson. No social media. No phone plan. Just me, 3 prepaid burner phones, and a hard drive full of receipts. She didn't just want to leave me. She wanted to gut me. You see, Meryl had gone through her own divorce glow-up 2 years ago. Posted thirst traps and yoga pants while tagging brands she didn't wear. Gave TED Talk-level rants on TikTok about liberating yourself from codependent structures. But she also racked up nearly $23,000 in credit card debt trying to look like she was thriving. She never paid it off. She just moved in with us for a few weeks. That few weeks turned into 11 months. I cooked her meals. She called me bruh. I folded her laundry. She said I was financially emasculated. And worst of all, She was the one who came up with the calendar invite title DDay Drop the Weight. I found that in an audio recording. She said it while sipping hard kombucha and snorting over a video of a man crying during his wedding vows. I never even raised my voice. I just kept collecting. Building the portfolio. In Tucson, I lived off-grid. No credit. No name. Everything prepaid. Meanwhile, I used one of the burner phones to log into our shared family plan and watch her spiral from a distance. First week post-eviction attempt, she posted a gym selfie. Caption, he walked out. I walked up. Hashtag new beginnings, hashtag no more deadweight. It got 472 likes. Her highest engagement ever. Even her aunt commented, he never deserved you. 2 days later, she was locked out of her Apple ID. I had initiated a 2FA reset, passed all verification, and set a new recovery email, one she didn't know existed. I downloaded every message, every iCloud note, every saved password. She had files. Plans. A whole damn dossier on how to portray me as passive-aggressive, borderline narcissistic, and fiscally manipulative. One draft email to her therapist said, he hasn't cheated, but that's almost worse because it means I have to fabricate something that feels real. She used that word. Fabricate. I archived it all. Then I got to work on Meryl. Her sister had an unlicensed beauty side business at home. Read, my goddamn garage. She charged $80 a pop for unlicensed lip fillers using expired product she bought through some Eastern European Telegram group. I sent an anonymous tip to the state licensing board. They raided the place 5 days later. Meryl's TikTok went dark. Her Instagram changed to private. She deleted her GoFundMe for legal help to fight corporate injustice. I didn't smile. I grinned. But none of that compared to the moment I hit send on a Dropbox folder I'd prepared months earlier. I sent it to 2 people. Her employer's HR rep. Her therapist. The folder included voice recordings of her mocking disabled coworkers, calling HR a joke, and saying she only went to therapy to get the paper trail in case she needed to pull a psych leave during the breakup. I titled the folder, Exhibit A, you picked the wrong one. I never heard back. But 3 days later, her LinkedIn said, open to work. Now here's where it gets frostbite level cold. A month into my exile, I got a call from one of my old buddies, Derek. He used to come by on football Sundays. Ate my wings. Used my Netflix. Ghosted the second she went public with her single status. He left a voicemail. Hey man, weird question, did you really steal her inheritance? Like, is she okay? I didn't respond. But I did check the trust. Her grandma had left her $18,000 in a locked custodial account. It had sat untouched for 3 years. I never touched it. Never planned to. Until I saw the bank statements. Turns out Meryl tried to access it with a forged signature. That's federal. I didn't report it yet. But I made a copy of the attempt, highlighted her IP address, and added it to the Dropbox. Because nuclear revenge isn't about explosions. It's about radiation. They're not scared because they got caught. They're scared because they don't know how much more is coming. As of this morning, my ex-wife has applied to 7 jobs in 3 industries. No callbacks. Meryl is couch hopping between friends who've started ghosting her. Their old friend group splintered once someone leaked the calendar invite screenshots to their group chat. I didn't leak them. Someone else did. I'm guessing the friend she stiffed for a $600 bachelorette trip back in 2019 finally saw an opening. So what's next? Let's just say I saved one more move. She had a secret email chain with a divorce lawyer she never retained. In one message dated 3 weeks before D-Day, she said, if things get bad, I'll make sure I look like the one who tried the hardest. Well, I didn't fold. I flipped the entire board. And now she's standing in the wreckage holding a burned-out phone and 72 unread message receipts that all say the same thing. Please. Update 2. Her sister just sold her out for a bag of frozen grapes and a place to sleep. The message came at 2:41 a.m. from an unknown number. I'm not saying sorry, but I need somewhere to go. You won. It was Meryl. I knew it before I opened the photo she attached, a cracked phone screen on a mattressless floor, her face half-lit, mascara smeared like war paint, a CVS bag of frozen grapes sitting beside her like it was the last luxury she could afford. It was pathetic. It was also perfect. Because 2 months ago, that same voice called me emotional lint, laughed behind my back, and mocked me to my own wife for budgeting. And now she's asking me for shelter? I didn't reply. Not immediately. I called Pete instead, my landlord here in Tucson. A retired Marine with one eye for working teeth and a hatred for drama unless it comes with popcorn. Told him I needed a favor. 3 hours later, Meryl was buzzed into the same dusty complex I'd used as a war room. She didn't recognize it, of course. She just saw the word available and the word cheap. She took the unit above mine. She still doesn't know I live here. But I know everything about her new life. I left a bag at her door on the 3rd night, half a box of cereal, a prepaid phone, and a note that said, tell me everything. Or tell them nothing. By morning, she texted. Fine. But this stays between us. What followed was a flood of screenshots, voice memos, and journal entries that felt like reading the diary of a serial liar trying to out-gaslight a mirror. Turns out the plan was worse than I imagined. They weren't just kicking me out. They were setting me up. See, DDay was never just about the breakup. It was about controlling the fallout. About painting me as the unstable one, the financial manipulator, the man who couldn't handle a strong woman's success. They'd outlined everything in chilling detail. A staged panic attack in front of coworkers. An anonymous HR complaint alleging I monitored her devices. A fake journal she planned to backdate and submit to her therapist. An accidental voicemail of her crying meant to be left on her mom's phone, deliberately timed after she filed the divorce. That last one? Meryl recorded it in our garage. I found the draft in her phone backup. It ends with them laughing. Laughing. Then something else came through. A name. Brendan. He was my wife's first ex. The one she never talked about. The one who ghosted her after 3 years and moved across the country with zero warning. According to Meryl, he didn't ghost. He ran. Same pattern. Same setup. Only that time, the guy didn't catch on until it was too late. He lost his job, got reported for harassment at his next workplace, and moved to Minnesota under a different name. Meryl didn't know the full details, just that he freaked out and disappeared. I found him. He works at a mechanics shop 2 states over under the name Brett S. I sent him one email. Did she say you hit her too? He replied 6 minutes later. She told my boss I stalked her. Said I threatened her dog. I didn't even know she had one. How did you find me? We're talking now. He's got receipts too. And now? We're building something. Because Brett kept his police report. The one that went nowhere because she never followed through. The one that would have destroyed his life if she had. He also has old emails. Photos. A recording of her said she'd make things hard for him if he spoke out. She never knew he recorded it. He said he only started doing it after the first time she locked him out of their shared apartment and called the police to prove he was unstable. You starting to see the pattern? She doesn't just leave. She nukes. She sets the trap, then cries when it snaps. Until now. Now the crater has eyes. Here's where it gets fun. She posted on her new Healing Journey TikTok yesterday. Video of her meditating on a park bench, voiceover talking about boundaries and silent strength. Background music? Coldplay's Fix You. Caption, you can't heal where you were hurt. You have to burn the bridge, then watch the fire light your path. Meryl sent me a screenshot of the draft caption. The original? Some bridges weren't built for traffic. They were built to trap rats. Now she's not sleeping. Her phone's pinging nonstop with spam accounts she thinks are bots. They're not. They're burner accounts I made to remind her I'm still watching. Still smiling. Still holding the last card. What she doesn't know yet. I'm not the only one. Brendan wants in. He said he's been dreaming of this for 6 years. He said, give me one chance to walk her into her own story. So we're planning something. Something big. I'm calling it DDay Reverse. And just like her version, it starts with a calendar invite. She'll get it soon. Final update coming when she opens it. And realizes the weight she dropped had claws. Update 3, she opened the invite in front of her therapist. It wasn't a meeting, it was a mirror. And it broke her. The calendar invite hit her inbox at 10:01 a.m. Subject, DDay Reverse. Location, where it began. Attendees, me. Brendan. Meryl. Her therapist. One unlisted observer. Her therapist, Dr. Ray, hosts bi-weekly group sessions now. Zoom and in person. Topics like narcissistic trauma, survivor empowerment, reclaiming self-worth. My ex joined 6 months ago as a testimony participant. She claimed her husband, me, used soft control tactics, money, attention withholding, gaslighting. This was her stage. So I bought a ticket. Actually, I bought the whole show. You see, I reached out to Dr. Ray a week earlier. I sent a legal document, Brendan's police report, my folder of audio receipts, Meryl's now-signed affidavit of manipulation and malicious intent. I didn't ask for an audience. I asked for ethical transparency. Dr. Ray read every file. Took 2 days. Then replied with 3 words. She's not a victim. On the 3rd day, she offered an invite to the next session. You won't speak, but you'll be seen. It was all I needed. I told Brendan. He flew in. Meryl came, too, face still half bruised from her last sleeping spot, teeth clenched, pride in the sewer. She didn't come for closure. She came for revenge. We waited in the observation room, a glass on one side, mirror on the other. She walked in at 10:59 a.m., sharp ponytail. Big sunglasses. Voice clipped like a YouTube guru. She was mid-rant about psychic weights when Dr. Ray interrupted. We have a special participant today. That's when she opened her phone. Saw the invite. Saw the subject line. Saw the attendees. And froze. She laughed. Loud. Forced. Said, is this a joke? My ex is stalking me now. Dr. Ray tilted her head. No. I invited him. What? Dr. Ray stood. Because I read everything. The fake panic plans. The forged recordings. The staged abuse photos. The inheritance manipulation. Your confession about Brendan's job loss. Your intent to fabricate emotional instability in your partner. The room went cold. My ex stared around like she was in a dream. This is illegal, she snapped. This is harassment. You can't just. I also spoke with your employer, Dr. Ray said. The new one. I informed them of the pending defamation filings and submitted your previous HR records. They've decided to terminate your onboarding process. My ex sat down so hard her purse fell off her lap. And then the screen behind Dr. Ray flickered on. It was a video feed. Me, Brendan, Meryl, all sitting, silent, staring. She didn't scream. She whimpered. Why would you do this? She whispered. Brendan leaned forward in the camera frame. You destroyed my life. Now you can watch yours fold. She got up, bolted, left her phone, her purse, everything. Ran out barefoot. The last thing we heard before the door slammed was her sobbing the word, please. I stayed seated. So did Brendan. So did Meryl. We didn't speak for 20 seconds. Then Dr. Ray said, that wasn't justice. That was exposure. What you do next is your choice. Here's what I chose. I filed a cease and desist against her influencer accounts using my name. Brendan submitted his documentation to a civil court in Minnesota. Emotional distress, defamation, and professional sabotage. He has a lawyer now. Meryl? She left Tucson yesterday. Got a bus ticket and a new job in Kansas. She said she doesn't forgive me, but she respects me. And me? I changed my number again. Left Tucson. My bank account is fine. My peace is better. The man she tried to erase became the shadow behind her every locked screen. And the last time she tried to log into her old iCloud, she saw a single image. The calendar. Side-by-side comparison. DDay dropped the weight. DDay Reverse. Underneath, in the notes, just one sentence. You taught me how to disappear, but I taught you how it feels to be seen. There is no redemption arc here. She's not healing. She's hiding. Because in the end, the man she tried to frame wasn't a victim. He was an architect, and she walked into her own demolition. I didn't light the match. I just handed her the calendar.